Hurry up. I want that roof bare before the sun comes up. 3 a.m. Christmas Eve. Connor Grayson, HOA president, 38, stands on Roberto Espinoza's sidewalk, arms crossed, barking at two contractors on the roof. $450 cash, no receipt. Get that stupid star off too. I don't want to see it when the sun comes up. The front door opens. Roberto, 71, bare feet, pajama pants, staggers onto the wet lawn. Those are my lights, right in front of my house. Connor turns. You're retired now, aren't you, Mr. Espinoza? Go back inside. His foot slips. He goes down. Hip hits the ground. Connor looks down. A 71-year-old man lying on wet grass at his feet. Does not bend down. Does not call 911. He turns, walks to his SUV at the end of the cul-de-sac, and drives away. On the roof, the contractors keep cutting. On the roof, a man reaches the brass star wired to the ridge. 20 years worth of twist ties hold it in place. Roberto adds a new one every November. The man yanks it free. The wire snaps. The star spins once in the air, catches the streetlight for a half second. Dull gold flashing. He drops it into a black trash bag with broken bulbs and shredded extension cords. 7 hours later, Christmas morning, a 7-year-old girl runs barefoot across the cul-de-sac to her grandfather's house. Pink pajamas with snowflakes. She turns the corner. The house is dark. Every hook empty. Every wire gone. The roof bare. Abuelo, who stole Christmas? 9 a.m. The HOA president posts on Facebook. Finally, a clean, modern Christmas for our community. You're welcome. Hashtag minimalist Christmas. He thinks he has won. He does not know about the arrest warrant being drafted 3 blocks away. He does not know about the 2 corporate trucks heading toward his neighborhood. And he does not know that 70 families are about to walk toward Roberto's house, carrying their own lights. Hey everyone. My daughter tugs my sleeve on Christmas morning and says, "Daddy, someone stole Mr. Christmas." She is watching a news clip on her tablet. 42 seconds of an empty house that used to be the brightest block in the neighborhood. I watch it with her. Then I read the article. Then the comments. One woman writes, "My father was a janitor for 30 years. He never got a plaque either. I'm crying at my kitchen table." A veteran tags his entire VFW chapter with, "They messed with one of ours." Someone else posts a photo of their own Christmas lights with the caption, "These stay up until Roberto's are back. Hashtag Abuelo Christmas." This story does not just make people angry, it makes people climb ladders. How does a man who has been lighting up his block for free for 20 years, $800 a year from a $1,600 a month Social Security check, end up on the wet grass at 3 a.m., watching strangers tear it all down? And what happens when a 7-year-old girl finds a brass star in a dumpster and accidentally starts a bidding war between Home Depot and Lowe's? If you have ever had someone destroy something you built with your own hands, follow the channel. This one has a criminal charge, a corporate showdown, and an ending that is going to hit you right in the chest. Roberto Abuelo Espinoza, 71, born in Guadalajara, Mexico, he comes to the United States in 1965 at age 10. His father pours concrete until his back gives out. His mother cleans houses, 3 a day, 6 days a week. Roberto gets his first job at 14, sweeping a barbershop on Saturdays. He has been cleaning things ever since. Janitor at City Hall for 40 years, same building, same hallway. Same mop bucket with the squeaky left wheel he never fixes because the squeak tells him where he has been. He retires in September. They give him a cake, a plaque, and a handshake from the current mayor, who pronounces his last name wrong. Vietnam, Army, 1971 to 1973. Infantry. He does not talk about it. Not to his neighbors, not to his family, not to anyone except 3 men who were there with him, Ray, Hector, and Curtis. They meet at the VFW every 3rd Saturday. They call each other brother because they stopped using rank 50 years ago. Maria. He meets her at a church dance in Houston in 1975. Marries her 6 months later. They try to have children. It does not happen. Maria says, "Then we'll love the whole neighborhood's kids instead." They do. Maria dies 5 years ago. Pancreatic cancer. The kind that moves fast and does not negotiate. Roberto sits in the kitchen for 3 days afterward, eats nothing. On the 4th day, he notices the star on the shelf, picks it up. Heavy for its size. Brass, tarnished at the points. One arm slightly bent from the year he dropped it climbing the ladder. He never straightens it. Maria would have said it gives it character. They buy the star at a Woolworths in Houston, 1967, their first Christmas in America. Maria points at it through the store window. This one, because it looks like it's been waiting for us. It costs $3.50. The Christmas lights start 20 years ago. Roberto puts up a few strands on the porch. The next year, the roof, then the lawn, then the bushes, then the sidewalk. Every year, bigger. Every year, more. He pays for everything. $800 a year from his Social Security check. $1,600 a month total. Half of 1 month's income goes to Christmas lights. Nobody asks him to do it. Nobody pays him back. This year, his last edition, Memory Lane. 20 family photos from the neighborhood, printed and laminated, each one illuminated by a small light along the sidewalk. Birthday photos, wedding photos, baby photos. He asks every family's permission. Everyone says yes. People drive from other neighborhoods to see Abuelo Christmas. Kids press their noses to car windows. Parents pull over and take photos. Every year the same question from someone new. Who does all this? The answer is always, the old man on the corner. He does it alone. After Maria dies, Roberto still climbs the ladder every November. Bad knees. Alone. His neighbor offers to help. He says no. Ray offers. He says no. His granddaughter Isabella asks why he will not let anybody hold the ladder. He says, Maria and I put up the first one together. I'll put up the last one together too. Every year, the star goes up last. He stands on the top rung, hooks the brass star onto the ridge of the roof, looks up at it. They can't stop Christmas, Maria. Christmas always wins. Nobody hears. Connor Grayson, the kind of man who measures a sunset by how it affects his property's Instagram grid. 38. Sells a fitness tracking app to a health insurance company for $3.2 million. Moves to the neighborhood 8 months ago. Buys the corner lot. Renovates it. Concrete, black steel, floor-to-ceiling glass. It looks like a co-working space that lost its Wi-Fi. Nobody runs against him for HOA president. He takes the job because, as he tells the board at his first meeting, somebody has to optimize this place. His house has $4,500 in architectural LED accent lighting. Cool white, running year-round, on a smart timer he controls from his phone. He calls it exterior design, not decorations, not lights, design. December 15th, Connor sends an email to all 70 residents. Effective immediately, holiday decorations are limited to 1 wreath and 1 strand of white lights per unit. Excessive displays create visual clutter and negatively impact property perception. Please remove non-compliant items by December 22nd. Roberto reads the email on his granddaughter's phone. He does not have email. He walks to Connor's house, knocks. Connor opens the door, barefoot, AirPods in one ear, smoothie in hand. I've done the lights for 20 years, Roberto says. Nobody's ever complained. Connor takes out the AirPod. Well, someone's complaining now. Me. The kids come from other streets. Families take photos. Mr. Espinoza. Connor leans against the doorframe. I respect your tradition. I do. But blinking lights don't build property value. Clean lines do. He puts his hand on Roberto's shoulder. I'm sure we can find a balance. Roberto walks home thinking, maybe it will be okay. Maybe this one will listen. He has spent 40 years cleaning up after people who did not notice him. He knows how to wait. December 20th. A fine notice arrives. $100 per day. Roberto's lights are still up. He walks home past Connor's house that evening. The cool white LEDs run along every roofline. Constant. Year-round. $4,500 worth. Not seasonal. Not festive. Permanent. Classified in the CC&Rs as architectural feature. Exempt from the 1 wreath, 1 strand rule that Connor writes himself. Roberto stops. Looks at Connor's permanent LEDs. The ones that never get fined. looks at his own house. $800 in seasonal lights, classified as excessive holiday display. Same power grid, same street, different classification, different enforcement. He says nothing, keeps walking. December 24th, 3 a.m. Connor comes, does not send the contractors and go to bed. He comes himself, black SUV parked at the end of the cul-de-sac, headlights off. He steps out, jacket over pajamas, stands on Roberto's sidewalk, arms crossed, supervising the contractors he is paying $450 cash, no receipt. Hurry up, I don't have all night. An earlier text, sent at 11:47 p.m. on December 23rd, reads, "Get it done tonight, before he wakes up." The contractor arrives with 2 workers, pickup truck, ladder, bolt cutters, wire snips, 3 black trash bags. They work fast. Roof first, they strip every strand, clip every extension cord. The strands pull free with a sound like tearing tape. The cold air smells like burnt plastic and metal. Connor stands below looking up, barking. And that stupid star, too. Get it off. Porch second, the wreath, the garland, the doorframe lights. Lawn third, the wire candy canes shatter when the worker yanks them from the frozen ground. Sidewalk last. Memory lane. The laminated family photos crack under work boots. A neighbor's wedding photo lies face down in the wet grass. Stepped on. Mrs. Kowalski, 74, Polish immigrant, 4 houses down. Hears the noise. Looks through her bedroom curtains. Sees 2 men on Roberto's roof, one on a ladder, and a figure standing below, arms crossed, looking up. She reaches for her phone, almost calls 911, puts the phone down. What if it's authorized? What if they come for me next? She closes the curtains. Roberto wakes at 3:22 a.m., the scraping overhead, boots on tile. He grabs the door frame and shuffles to the front door, opens it. Half the yard is dark, and on the sidewalk, a figure standing with arms crossed. He steps out. Bare feet, wet grass, cold. "Those are my lights. Stop!" Connor turns, looks at the old man. "You're retired now, aren't you, Mr. Espinoza? Go back inside. There's nothing here for you anymore." His left knee gives. He falls. His hip hits the ground. Pain through his pelvis. He tries to push up. His arms shake. He cannot. Connor looks down. A 71-year-old man lying on wet grass at his feet. Does not bend down. Does not call 911. Does not say another word. He turns, walks to his SUV at the end of the cul-de-sac, and drives away. Red taillights blink through the fog and disappear. The man on the ladder looks down, hesitates. 1 second. Something flickers across his face, guilt maybe, or just surprise. Then he looks at his phone, at the text that says, 450, get it done, and keeps cutting. The man on the roof reaches the brass star. It is wired to the ridge hook with 20 years worth of twist ties. Roberto adds a new one every November, a ritual, like turning the page of a calendar. The man yanks it free, the wire snaps. The star spins once in the air, catches the streetlight for a half second, flashing dull gold. And the man drops it into a black trash bag with broken bulbs and shredded extension cords. 4:15 a.m. Done. 30 minutes. 20 years of lights gone in the time it takes to watch a sitcom episode. Roberto sits on the porch steps, wet pants, cold, hip throbbing. The yard is dark, every hook empty, the roof bare. The sidewalk photos, memory lane, are crushed. A neighbor's wedding photo lies face down in the wet grass, cracked down the middle. He does not go back inside. He sits there until dawn. Christmas morning, 9:01 a.m. Connor posts on the HOA Facebook group, "Finally, a clean, modern Christmas for our community. You're welcome. Hashtag Minimalist Christmas. 9:15 a.m. Connor's Instagram story, a photo of his own house, cool white LEDs glowing against the matte black facade. Caption, property values greater than blinking lights. Christmas tree emoji. Isabella Espinoza, 7. The youngest in Roberto's family, his niece's daughter. She lives 2 blocks away. Every Christmas morning, she runs to Abuelo's house. It is the tradition, not the presents, not the tree at home, the lights, Abuelo's lights. That is Christmas. She runs across the cul-de-sac in her pajamas, pink ones with snowflakes, bare feet on cold pavement. She turns the corner. The house is dark. Every hook empty, every wire gone, the roof bare, the lawn just grass. No candy canes, no memory lane, no family's photos, nothing. She stands there, small, breathing clouds in the cold air. Abuelo, who stole Christmas? Roberto sits on the porch. He has not moved since 4 a.m. He looks at her pajamas, her bare feet, her face. They took them down, mija. Who? The man who runs things. Isabella does something Roberto does not expect. She walks around the side of the house, to the dumpster. She knows where Abuelo keeps his extra supplies. She has helped sort bulbs before. She opens the lid. Inside, tangled wires, shattered bulbs, crushed photos, black trash bags, and the star. Brass. One arm bent further now. The contractor did not handle it gently. Tarnished on top. A scratch across the base where it hit something in the bag. Isabella reaches in, both hands. She lifts it out, heavy for her. She wipes the grime off with the sleeve of her snowflake pajamas, a dark smear across the pink fabric. She carries it back to the porch, holds it up. Abuelo, I saved your star. Roberto takes it, runs his thumb over the bent arm, the same one Maria never wanted straightened. The scratch is new, the weight is the same. He holds it against his chest. He sits there a long time. Isabella sits next to him. Neither talks. The street is quiet. No lights anywhere. Just two people on a porch with a brass star and a Christmas that someone tried to steal. That afternoon, Roberto almost gives up. He sits in his living room, the star on the coffee table, the shelf where the lights used to be organized, empty. He thinks about next year, about climbing the ladder alone again, about $800 he probably should not spend, about knees that gave out on wet grass. Maybe I'm too old for this, mija. Maybe he's right. Maybe they're just lights. Isabella, they're not just lights, abuelo. Everybody comes to see them, even mama, even when it's cold. Would you keep climbing that ladder? After 20 years of lights for a neighborhood that let a stranger tear them down at 3 a.m. while you lay on the wet grass, would you spend another $800, risk another fall, climb another roof, or would you let the dark stay? Roberto looks at the star, looks at Isabella, looks at the empty roof through the window. Okay. He picks up the star. Christmas always wins. December 26th. The texts start. Did you hear what happened to Abuelo? Who authorized this? Connor hired someone? At 3 in the morning? Isabella tells the story to everyone who will listen. Her mother, the neighbors, the lady at the grocery store. Her mother's friend works at the local news station. One phone call, then another. The story runs that evening. 42 seconds of Roberto's empty house. Isabella's quote on camera. A bad man took Abuelo's Christmas lights. He fell down trying to stop them, and they threw his star in the trash. The broadcast cuts to a photo of last year's display. 200 lights, memory lane, the star on the roof. Then Connor's Facebook post. You're welcome. Hashtag minimalist Christmas. 3.1 million views in 48 hours. Every single one watching a dark house that should have been the brightest on the block. Ray shows up first. No call. Just his truck in the driveway, and Ray on the porch with a thermos of coffee and a look that says he has been thinking about this since Vietnam. Hector arrives 20 minutes later. Curtis after that. 3 old men. 3 bad knees between them. Curtis brings a ladder. They messed with a vet, Ray says. That's not how this works. 70 families coordinate on a group text. Operation Abuelo Christmas. Each family brings their own lights. They start arriving December 27th at 8 a.m. Home Depot Regional calls first. Mr. Espinoza, we'd like to help. No conditions. No cameras required. One truck arrives. Full. Lights, extension cords, inflatable Santas, a 12-foot Santa, a snowflake projector, and, at the bottom, wrapped in brown paper, a brand new brass star. The driver tapes a note to it. For Maria. Lowe's sees the Home Depot truck on the news at 11 a.m. Their truck arrives at 2 p.m. Blue vest, full bed of lights, timber for a new yard display, 200 feet of commercial-grade cord. The cul-de-sac smells like fresh pine garland and hot chocolate. The 2 trucks park side by side. The drivers shake hands. The crowd, 70 families, 3 veterans, 1 news crew, and Isabella holding the original star. Cheers! Roberto stands on the porch, his hand over his mouth. He cannot speak. Isabella tugs his sleeve. Abuelo, look. Here is what Connor Grayson does not know. He does not know Mrs. Kowalski saw everything at 3 a.m. and gave a statement to police. Full description of the truck, the workers, the timeline. He does not know the $450 contractor is cooperating. Screenshot of Connor's text. Get it done tonight, before he wakes up. He does not know that criminal trespass charges are being drafted, signed by a judge December 28th, and the price he is about to pay, I promise you, will be bigger than any light bill Roberto ever paid. And the star, the one his contractor threw in a trash bag with broken glass, Isabella Espinoza, 7 years old, snowflake pajamas, bare feet on Christmas morning, reaches into a dumpster and saves it. It is in Roberto's hand right now. It is going back on the roof. Connor spends $450 to destroy 20 years of lights in 30 minutes. 70 families rebuild them in 6 hours, for free. Someone discovers the hypocrisy that week. A neighbor pulls the CC&Rs and the county records. Connor's LED system, $4,500, cool white, running year-round, is classified as a permanent architectural feature, exempt from the one wreath, one strand rule. Roberto's $800 in seasonal Christmas lights? Excessive holiday display. Same electricity, same neighborhood, different classification, different enforcement. Let me ask you this. If your HOA president banned Christmas lights, but his own house glowed year-round with $4,500 in LEDs he classified as architecture, what would you do? Comment below. I want to hear. Criminal charges are filed December 28th. Criminal trespass, entering private property at 3 a.m. without owner consent. Destruction of property, $800 in lights, $500 in photo displays, damaged brass star. Total value exceeding $1,300. The contractor cooperates fully, provides the full text exchange. Connor's final text, sent at 11:47 p.m. on December 23rd. Get it done tonight, before he wakes up. And take the stupid star thing off the roof, too. December 29th. Press conference. Roberto's front yard. Lights everywhere. 5 times what he has ever had. Red, green, white, blue. Inflatables. New memory lane with 50 photos. Neighbors add their own. Home Depot banner on one side. Lowe's banner on the other. Kids running through the yard. Connor has not left his house since December 26th. Curtains drawn, car in the garage, Instagram deleted. He texts his lawyer. People forget. Give it a week. His lawyer texts back. Have you checked the news? Roberto stands in front of the cameras. He has never spoken publicly in his life. 40 years as a janitor, the job where nobody sees you and nobody asks your opinion. He holds the star in both hands, the original. The one from 1967, the bent arm, the scratch from the trash bag. Isabella stands next to him, her hand on his elbow. I've been cleaning floors for 40 years. City Hall, same building, same mop. Nobody ever asked my opinion on anything. He pauses, looks at the star. But I know about lights. I know that when you put up lights, people slow down. They stop their cars. They point. Kids pull on their parents' sleeves. Strangers take photos together. For 20 years, that's what I gave this street. For free. Because my wife, Maria, she loved watching them come. His voice thickens. He said blinking lights don't build property value. He looks at the cameras, at the crowd, at the 70 families who rebuild his Christmas in 6 hours. But they built this neighborhood. No spreadsheet will show you why. He holds the star up, brass flashing in the winter sun. Merry Christmas. Ray, Hector, and Curtis stand behind him, hand on each other's shoulders, worn VFW caps. 70 families applaud. Home Depot and Lowe's reps shake Roberto's hand. The news cameras roll. Isabella tugs his shirt. Abuelo, can I put the star up? Roberto places the star himself. He climbs the ladder, left foot, right foot, wincing. Ray holds the left side. Hector holds the right. Curtis stands below with his arms out like he could catch a 71-year-old man. Isabella hands it up. Roberto hooks the star onto the ridge. Same hook, same spot. The bent arm faces east, toward Houston, where Maria first points at it through a store window. Maria, they tried, but Christmas always wins. 3 blocks away, Connor stands in his kitchen. Through the gap in the curtains, he can see the new lights on Roberto's roof, 5 times brighter than before. His phone buzzes on the counter. His lawyer. Criminal trespass charges filed. Judge signed this morning. We need to talk. He picks up the phone. His hand freezes on the case. Jaw clenched, no words come. He drops the phone. The screen cracks on the tile floor. He pulls the curtain shut. It does not help. The light bleeds through the fabric, red and green. Every window. 2 weeks later, Connor's house goes on the market, listed below value. Before he moves out, someone, identity never confirmed, though Curtis develops a very slight smile when asked, plugs Connor's $4,500 architectural LED system into a smart power strip. The LEDs now blink, red and green, on a timer, every night from 6 p.m. to midnight. Connor's real estate listing photo, a minimalist glass and concrete house with blinking red and green Christmas lights reflected in every window. Connor pleads guilty. Criminal trespass plus destruction of property. Plea deal, $22,000 in restitution, $14,000 to Roberto, $8,000 to the neighborhood fund, 200 hours of community service. The new HOA board, new president, Mrs. Kowalski, the woman who closed her curtains at 3 a.m. and swore she would never close them again, rescinds the one wreath, one strand rule, permanently. The city council designates Roberto's block Christmas Lane on Google Maps. Permanent. The following December, 200 homes are decorated. Families drive from 3 counties. Roberto does not pay for a single light. The neighborhood does. They rename the street, Roberto Espinoza Way. Small ceremony. The new mayor, the one who learns to pronounce his name, presents the plaque. Roberto holds it, looks at it for a long time, then hands it to Isabella. This one's for your abuela. Roberto climbs the ladder one more time. November. Early this time, he has got help. Ray on the left, Hector on the right, Curtis spotting from below. Isabella hands the star up. Roberto hooks it on. Same spot, same hook. Brass catches the last light of a November afternoon. He looks down at the street. Lights on every house, every yard, every porch. He looks up at the star. Maria. They tried. But Christmas always wins. Connor looks at those lights and sees a liability. Roberto looks at them and sees Maria. Isabella looks at them and sees magic. 70 families look at them and see home. That is the difference between property value and the things you cannot put a price on. If this story hit you, do 3 things. Subscribe, because next week, an HOA president threatens to foreclose on a Gold Star mother's home over the color of her mailbox. She paints it gold to honor her son, a soldier killed in Afghanistan. He tells her, "Your son's sacrifice doesn't change the color chart." 60 veterans show up in uniform. You will want to see that one. Comment, tell me the most outrageous thing an HOA has ever done to you or someone you know. I read every single one. And share this, because Abuelo spent 40 years cleaning floors nobody noticed. Roberto Espinoza Way means they notice now.